sabi ko sa kanila, huwag ninyong galawin niyang bayanihan. So there are, well, of course, declarations that karami ang bayan hindi magastos. Alam mo kasi, we would never know when the next variant of COVID-19, as last reported, Israel is the birthplace of another mutant. Hindi natin masiguro. Hindi na bali pag after 3 months, bahala na kayo. Then it will not be my problem anymore. Pero huwag din nyo munang galawin because hindi natin nasisiguro kung kailan uli. At magkakandararap ka naman ako. Sana kung if it happens during my time, of course, I'd be happy to leave the problem to the next president. Bahala na siya. Basta ako dito, yan ang tingin ko. That is how I look at the present situation. Yung bayanihan, hayaan nyo, huwag ninyong galawin for any other purpose except what was really intended by Congress. Saan tayo maghanap ng pera na wala ng pera, budgeted na lahat. The only way is mag-utang talaga. Mag-utang talaga. The next president will just have to borrow.
The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. President Rodrigo Duterte has signed into law the amendments to the 85-year-old Public Service Act. Under the amended law, sectors like telcos, airlines, and railways are now excluded from the definition of a public utility. This means these will no longer be subjected to the 40% foreign ownership cap for public utilities under the Constitution. President Duterte said this law will help boost the country's economic recovery.
I believe that through this law will attract more global investors, modernize several sectors of public service, and improve the delivery of essential services. Indeed, the enactment of this amended law, as well as the amended Foreign Investments Act, shall help stimulate the economy, especially for local businesses.
Reuters reports that Hong Kong is planning to relax some anti-COVID-19 measures next month, including lifting a ban on flights from the Philippines and 8 other countries. Starting April 1, Hong Kong's ban on flights from the Philippines, Australia, Britain, Canada, France, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and the United States will be lifted. This with Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam noting that the flight ban is no longer timely and appropriate. Hong Kong is also reducing quarantine periods and the reopening of schools following backlash from businesses and residents. Despite the ongoing fuel crisis, a lawmaker has proposed the halting of fuel subsidy distribution. That is, until issues on the beneficiaries have been solved. Mon Gualvez with a report.
Fuel prices are seeing a rollback today, the first time this year. Gasoline prices go down by up to 5 pesos and 45 centavos per liter, while kerosene prices decrease by as much as 8 pesos per liter. Despite this development, many PUV drivers and operators still have not received the 6,500 peso fuel subsidy promised to them by the government at the height of price increases. In yesterday's House Committee on Transportation hearing, it was revealed that some motorists were also facing problems with paying through cards in gas stations. Transport groups also noted that former operators seem to be the ones benefiting from the subsidy instead of the current franchise owners.
Po na maraming operator na nagbenta ng unit, lalong-lalo na before pandemic pa po. So ngayon po, yung pong mga may-ari ng mga jeepney ngayon na tumatakbo, nakakarenew pa rin po ng kanilang franchise kahit hindi na po sila yung may-ari, Mr. Chair. Ang problema namin, wala pong card na hawak yung mga nakabili ng mga unit. Dahil na hindi na po tumatanggap.
The Transportation Department denies involvement in this supposed scheme.
Yung pong bentahan ng prangkisa, sila lang po nakakaintindihan nun. Hindi po kasali ang LTFRB doon.
LTFRB Chairman Martin Delgra also believes that this problem has already been addressed by as early as August 2016.
It's a matter of policy, and obviously it's against public policy. The policy of government is that kung hindi na po kaya ng operator, babawiin ng gobyerno yung prangkisa at ibibigay doon sa iba, willing, qualified, and competent to run it. Pero hindi po pwedeng ibebenta at pagkikitaan yung prangkisa. We have already addressed that issue a long time ago.
On the other hand, Pasang Mazda's Obet Martin appealed to the operators to allow drivers to directly receive the fuel subsidy.
Kung matanggap ng operator ang card, ipagkaloob nila sa mga driver nila yan. Hindi para sa operator, para po sa driver yan.
Though the country is still facing an oil crisis, Abang Lingkod Party List Representative Joseph Paduano suggests the suspension of subsidy distribution until after all these concerns have been fixed.
I suggest, suspend muna natin, Mr. Chairman, unless ma-clear out natin yung mga qualified beneficiaries na sinasabi natin.
This proposal, however, was immediately turned down by the House Committee.
To stick with the process, mas madali po. Ayaw natin bigyan ng pagkakataon na lalo't gugulo po ang LTFRB with due respect to the minority leader.
Since the distribution started on March 15, over 107,000 fuel subsidy cards have already been released. The department is targeting to finish distribution by end of the month. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Hugpong ng pagbabago is turning the tables on Vice Presidential candidate Walden Bello after Bello called Davao City a trading center of illegal drugs. HNP took issue with that fact that Bello seemed to know a lot about illegal drugs in Davao and yet never coordinated with the PDEA and the PNP about what he knew. The party says this makes Bello a, quote, a narco-politician, and the HNP added that they're now having Bello investigated for his possible knowledge and involvement in the alleged illegal drug trade in Davao City. Former BIR Commissioner Kim Henares says the heirs of a deceased person are the ones required to file and pay estate taxes. This after the PCGG confirmed that the Supreme Court decision regarding the Marcos family's estate tax liabilities had become final and executory. Henares explained that Ferdinand Marcos's heirs never filed for an extension of the deadline to pay estate taxes, and neither did they appeal the amount stated in the Supreme Court decision as their estate tax arrears, which is why the initial amount of 23 billion pesos ballooned to 203 billion pesos after 25 years of non-payment.
It doesn't matter kung nagagamit niya o hindi. Basta pag-aari ho yan ng isang namatay, kailangan ho kayo magbayad ng estate tax. At ang may obligasyon ho na magbayad ang mag-file, ho, yung tagapagmana, yung executor, o yung administrator. Wala hong pakialam ang batas kung nagagamit nung tagapagmana yung property na yan.
Former Senator Bongbong Marcos is now in Cavite to visit the supposedly 800,000 supporters that he has in the province. He's also expected to hold a grand rally tonight at the same venue where Vice President Leni Robredo gathered about 37,000 people. To give us the latest, we have Marian Enriquez joining us on the line from Dasmariñas City in Cavite. Good morning again, Maan. What's the situation looking like so far?
Hi, Charles. Actually, Bongbong Marcos, presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos, is being here in Barangay Lang, Cover 4, in Dasmariñas, and now the mission will be having a hackathon going to Tacparan. So, the news there, it's so crowded here.
We're having trouble reaching Maan at this point. We'll try to circle back to Maan later on. That was Marian Enriquez reporting from Dasmariñas, Cavite. Time now for a quick look at some of today's headlines. After 11 straight weeks of oil price hikes, several oil companies are implementing rollbacks beginning today. Since Bongbong Marcos has been skipping the debates attended by all his fellow presidential candidates, Senator Manny Pacquiao challenges him to a one-on-one debate. And two presidential candidates are campaigning today in the same province. That's Vice President Leni Robredo and Senator Ping Lacson. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 11 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.